I may not always say what is right, but at least I'm saying something. I may not always do what is right, but at least I'm doing something. I may not be exactly who I want to be, but at least I know I am somebody. And guess what? You are somebody too. I'm standing on the East Coast at the edge of land and ocean, where in just a few days the hurricane will impact. As you all know, you're watching the news, everybody's talking about it. But right now the ocean's very, very calm and very, very still. A lot of people would call it, a lot of people would label it or call it the calm before the storm. So all the while people are boarding up their windows or taping up their windows and stocking up on food and water, or some are evacuating, some are freaking out. Some people are being hysterical and some people don't even care. But as I look around and I see so much peace, knowing in my head that there's so much chaos that could potentially follow, and watching others prepare for the chaos, I can't help but wonder, what if in our lives we had the opportunity to prepare for all of the chaos in our life that comes. Sometimes things happen that we can't explain, or we can't predict those things, and we have to deal with them as they come. But with weather, we can sometimes say, oh hey, I'm getting out, I'm prepared, I'm going to evacuate, or whether you want to stay here and batten down the hatches and do like some people and ride out the storm. It's something to think about. What if life, before the bad things happen, we saw warning signs? Because with the weather, we're paying attention to the news. We're paying attention to our social media posts. But what if, maybe, just maybe, what if in our lives we could get a weather forecast and we could know about things that are going to happen? How do we relate weather to our lives and the things that we go through? Because sometimes you can't prepare. Before the storms in our life come, before big storms in our life come, sometimes there's peace and you ever feel like you're on cloud nine and you're so happy and you're so excited, things are going great, you're feeling positive, your relationship's going right, your work, professionalism is going right, your goals, you set your goals and now you accomplish your goals, and then boom, out of nowhere, bad things happen. Some bad things that you can't predict, or bad things that you can't explain. Nobody prepared you. Nobody prepared you. Nobody told you anything bad was going to happen. Maybe you get fired from your job, or maybe your person breaks up with you, maybe someone passes away. I don't know, maybe. All of those things happen. Lots of things happen that you can't explain and you can't predict. What do you do? What do you do when the storm clouds surround you? What do you do? Do you freak out? Or do you cling on to hope? When things happen in your life that you can't explain or you can't predict, and you're forced to deal with them, are you going to freak out? Or are you going to stay calm? When things happen in your life that you can't explain or sometimes often can't predict, what are you going to do? Because maybe, just maybe, in the midst of all of your darkness that surrounds you, maybe, just maybe, in all of the chaos and confusion of the world, maybe, just maybe, in the midst of your wildfires, maybe, just maybe, in the midst of your hurricanes, maybe, just maybe, in the midst of all of the brokenness and all of the devastation and all of the awful things that surround you, maybe, just maybe, there's still hope off in the distance. We can't freak out because freaking out is going to take our energy. We can't freak out because freaking out sometimes takes away all of our fight that we have, and sometimes we have to cling on to every ounce of hope and every ounce of energy that we have. The Bible teaches that if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, Google it, That's all you need. But what if you had a handful of mustard seeds, a handful of faith, and you say, you know what? Let the storm clouds gather in my life. Let the wind blow. Let the breakers dash. It doesn't matter what happens or what's coming up next, because I know that after the darkness will come the light. I know that the sun will shine again, because it is the sun's destiny to shine. It is the sun's job to shine. The sun will come back again. In the midst of devastation, in the midst of heartbreaks in your life, in the midst of all of the hurricanes in your life and the things that surround you, there's always hope for those who choose to keep moving. For those who are still breathing, there's always hope. You have a choice how you're going to respond. Just like many people here in Florida, they have a choice of how they're going to respond to the storms. And I've watched a series of 3 different inversions of people. One person, they stay calm. They prep and they ride it out. And they say they ride it out. The other person is the hysterical person that's freaking out. Oh my God, like the person that's freaking out. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I was talking to this girl in Walmart and she's like telling everybody, go buy water, go buy water. They're running out of water. I said, young lady, this is Walmart. There's more water in the back. Calm down, child. It's gonna be all right. She says, how do you know? Because you can't predict the weather. No, I can't explain the weather sometimes, but I'm telling you it's going to be all right, because I know in my soul that it's going to be all right, because I possess overwhelming and everlasting hope. That's why it's important. The other people are the ones that they're just too cool. And you know, they're not worried. They own these, you know, $1 million homes, and they spend all of their, you know, they're very successful people, and you know, everyone has their different resources that they're able to use. But I've watched this kind of person where they have, they're not worried about it. They're not going to board the windows. They're not going to prep. They're just going to fly out of town because they have the means. They have insurance. Oh, I'm not worried. I got flood insurance. I got hurricane insurance. Let the wind come. Hope is kind of like insurance. It's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence not seen, and the evidence of things that you can't see. You know, a lot of people here, I was walking through this neighborhood over here, which is like literally at the beach, and I've noticed no one's boarding their windows, no one's putting duct tape on their glass, nothing. I was like, I just have to assume that they have insurance. What kind of insurance policy do you have in your life? What do you cling to when the storm clouds start to gather? What hope do you find whenever you're in your lonely, desperate hour? Who do you call when you have no one to call on when you need help? Where do you go when you don't have anywhere to go, or when you feel like there's nowhere to go, or when there literally is nowhere to go? Who's gonna save you when you need to be saved? Who's gonna love you when you needed to be loved? Who is going to be there for you when you just need someone to be there for you? How are you gonna make it? How? What are you gonna do when the rain starts to fall? There have been many storms in my life, and there'll be many more to come. But how you respond to the storm and how you weather the storm is going to dictate to you how strong you become after, and what you're going to do during the storm. Are you going to freak out during the storms of your life? Or are you going to say, you know what, I'm going to keep on going. Let the winds blow. Let the thunder roar. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to ride it out. This rain won't last forever. It's going to go away. My pain won't last forever. It's going to go away. My persecution won't last forever. It's going to go away. My lack of hope won't last forever. It's going to go away. The waters will go away. Yes. The flooding will cease. The rain will cease. The darkness will cease. Don't hold on to the things that cause you to lose hope in your life. Have faith that everything truly will be okay. But be smart. Be smart. That's having faith, and having hope doesn't give you license to just go out and do what the hell you want to do and act crazy. Don't get yourself caught up in situations in your life where you're at the short end of the stick because you put yourself in places that you don't need to be. That's a side note. I hope you guys are having a fantastic night. I'll talk to you guys later. I may not always say what is right, but at least I'm saying something. I may not always do what is right, but at least I'm doing something. I may not be exactly who I want to be, but at least I know I am somebody. And guess what, girlfriend? You are somebody too. Yes, you are. You know, someone was trying to come for me earlier this week, like, oh, you just want to be heard and you just make things about you. Some stranger in my DM, some no-name broke mouth hoe, you know, had whole lot to say about me. But I said, you know what? You may disagree with what I said. You may not like the things that I say sometimes. You may not be feeling me on my point sometimes. But guess what? Whether I was right or whether I was wrong, I was still heard. You still heard me. And that's what I want you guys to know, that you have a voice, whether it's strong, whether it's weak, whether it's faint, whether you have a rich voice, it doesn't matter. Let them hear you. Don't let people silence you. Stop giving power to people that don't need power over you, that don't deserve the power over you. Don't let anybody silence you. That goes for people you do know and people you don't know. Walk in your destiny, friends. Walk in your destiny. And remember that you are somebody. We're not going to always say what is right. We're not going to always do what is right. We may not always be who we want to be. But at the very least, we know that we are somebody. And baby, that's a whole lot of somebody. Peace out.